Greetings. I've been idle for a while, but now I've returned. And I'm going to tell you about some secrets of old that you never heard before, so fasten your ears. I'm going to title this one, The Old Time Religions, the Original Astronomers in Science, the Ancient Egyptians, the Mayans, the Ancient Israelites, their Science of the Sun, and the lost knowledge about the God. Much of the knowledge has been lost through history for many reasons, but if you look at the legends of Egypt, there were lords called Akhenaten and Nefertiti, and inside of the artifacts you can see that they have an eye, and one of the eye is missing. The reason this is because they were trying to tell and inform the people that you couldn't see all of the information. This is a fact because the eyes in Egypt, some of them are full eyes and some of them are half eyes. Now, I'm going to explain to you, give you references and show you in books where this comes from and how it relates to scientific data about the sun. And the same knowledge came through all the nations. You know about the rise and fall of the indigenous, the ancient ones, the Mayans, Aztecs, Olmecs, the Lemurians. They had a sudden collapse of their civilization, and there's a lot of speculation as to why. I would say, from studying the subject, that the reason that their civilizations collapsed, it was due to the sun's radiation and the magnetic radiation that comes from the cycles of the sun. They call them sunspot cycles. Sunspot cycles was a concept that you could see on the pattern of a jaguar. That's why the god Quetzalcoatl and many of the lords like Montezuma, they would wear jaguars because the pattern of the fur resembles a sunspot cycle. And the sunspot cycle deals with magnetic radiation that comes from the sun, which has an effect on the fertility of an infant. You'll see that they had a specific science about the sun, which is still confirmed by NASA to this day. So we're not talking about a fairy tale fiction or some type of fable and mythology. These specific nations, they had a sudden collapse and a rise and a fall. And people speculate why this is. Archaeologists and scientists, etc., they speculate why this is. And from studying the subject, I would say that the collapse of these nations, most likely all of them, was a result of the magnetic radiation that was coming from the sun. Remember, the sun is the ultimate program. It rules, it controls all. It generates life and it takes away life. The sun was always an allegory for God. So now that you know, the Bible was telling you the truth when it said God give life and he taketh away, because the sun gave life and it takes away. This is a concept of positive and negative energy that comes from the magnetic radiation of the sun. The Mayans were talking about this. So what proof of fact do I have to support what I'm saying? If you look at the ancient city of Teotihuacan, there's temples, and inside these temples and these tombs, the stone artifacts of solar babies who have suns that are imprinted on their chest. And the sun that's imprinted on their chest has a sun ray inside of a skull and bones. And if you know anything about symbolism, the skull and bones is synonymous with death. So the Mayans were saying that the sun was causing a infant mortality rate. And that's why I believe that they were sacrificing children and babies to the gods. Because they were dying. If you don't know anything, look up in these universities. They have data which can confirm that the infant mortality rate is relative to the sun's gestation period. What do I mean by gestation? Gestation is basically the development of the child in the womb, which is basically 270 days. 270 days make up 9 months. You ever wonder why it's 9 months to a child is conceived? Because that's the rotational period of the sun is in its magnetic field. the sunspot cycles. I'll show you this. The sunspot cycles deal with a number of 25. More so, I would say 26 when you round up. Now, where have you seen the concept of the number 26 from the ancient Israelites, Egyptians? 26 is the golden rays that rest on the headdress of King Tut. 26 is the number for Yahweh in Hebrew.